Hi Virgo, I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic seer and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for October 2025. Please be sure to watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign to get a more clear and complete picture of what's to come for you in October and perhaps beyond, because timing will be different for all of you in these general readings. Remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, some months your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from your cusp sign, so you may want to check that out. This recording is for Virgo Sun, Virgo Rising, and Virgo Moon. I'm using the I'm using the Tarot Mucha Tarot deck in this reading. All that being said, Virgo, now on to your October 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. First card you have is Temperance. And this is a card that means patience, needing patience, having patience. It could also indicate alchemy, God working through you in what you're doing, thinking, creating, and saying. This may be a month where you feel like you have some important decisions to make. There could be some question about treatments that you may be thinking of taking, medical treatments. It could also be treatments that you may be wanting to do on your own self, like cleanses and like fasting or cleanses, or like facial treatments or some kind of treatments. But it could be medical treatments you may be thinking about, or procedures. You may feel out of balance or tired or out of sorts, and you may want to get yourself to feel more in balance. Some of you may be seriously considering changing something drastic. It could be like changing your profession, your career, changing your job, changing your profession. If you have dealt with a certain doctor for years, you may be like, no, I'm not going to keep going there. A doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, somebody you've dealt with for years, you may be considering changing, something on those lines. Or like diet, a certain type of diet maybe you've done for years. Maybe you've been vegan or a vegetarian, and now you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore, or vice versa. Maybe you've been a carnivore or done keto or paleo for a long time, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to change. I'm not going to do that anymore. Now I'm going to do something else. So it could even be dietary or exercise related, like certain types of things. If you were a jogger, or somebody that did power walking or worked out at a gym, and you did this for years, you may feel like, you know what, I'm going to go join a different gym, or I'm going to do a different kind of exercise protocol than what you had been doing. You could be prone to fever this month, a fever. I don't know that it's really the flu. It could be like a quick passing, like a day you just feel feverish. If you're going through the change of life, it could be a hormonal thing making you feel like you have a fever one day. It could be hormone related. It could be change of life related. It could be a quick flying through illness, like a cold that gives you a fever, or an intestinal bug or virus, and you get a short-term fever. Or if you get some kind of medication to prevent flu, I've seen it drive up fever in my son twice. So, and my parents, who are now no longer alive, they're in the spirit world, but when they were living, if they got certain medications to prevent flus, sometimes they would get fevers, and my son got it twice. So it could be something like that. You take something that generates a fever, so be on the lookout for that. So the next card in your reading is the Two of Swords, and this is a block, a stop, or a stalemate. This could also be protective of yourself. It could also indicate having to make a decision, which did come up in this card, so decision making could be also evident with this card. And there's emotions tied up here, emotions happening behind the scenes. There could be certain things that you are determined, Virgo, that you are going to keep private, that you do not want to go out there into the public domain or into the world in any way, or into certain people. Maybe you're meeting somebody new, and or new friends, or maybe to your relatives or to a new love partner, that, or one you're already with, that you want to keep certain things about what you think or what you do, or certain personal information about yourself private. Could be very important to you in October. There could be somebody you are like feeling like, I'm not going to allow myself to get wrapped up in with them. It could be a new coworker, and you're like, I'm not going to allow myself to get wrapped up with them as a friend. They may be trying to become your friend. And if it's not happening at work, it could be at a club or a group or an organization, and you may get like some kind of bad vibe, and you're like, I'm not going to allow myself to get wrapped up with them. Or a new potential love partner. You definitely need to trust your vibes, because your vibes are not going to steer you wrong. Trust your intuition, trust your gut. You may also be very protective about wanting your information to be kept private in regard to on your computer. Like maybe you want to get a VPN or upgrade to a different VPN than one you already have. Or like any kind of protections that you could have against hackers in any form could be on your mind. Any kind of protection. You may also feel like you want to get, maybe you want a dog, that a big dog that'll bark and be like personal protection for you, or an alarm system, or cameras, something. You may want some kind of system of protection. Could be important to you. I feel like for some of you, it's already started in September or maybe even August. But it's like I get the September vibes here, but it could continue on. This is, that's one thing about readings, they flow. And the spirit guides don't view time the same way we do. Time is a construct of man. It's not a construct of the spirit realm. So some things I say may have already happened. Some things are happening right now. And some of these things, even though I'm saying them now, may happen in the future. You may also have been listening to someone, could have been a personality on the internet, or in a book, or both, that are trying to give you advice or insight, could be coming from a therapist, on how to control your emotions. Like to not let your emotions get the better of you or run away with you, and how you can have more peace. So the next card in your reading is the Two of Rods, and this is partnership in business, partnership in romance, or something you're creating and putting out there into the world for people to see or buy or listen to. I feel like some of you are getting yourself steady because you're getting ready to embark on a new venture or adventure. It's like you want some kind of training to be complete. So there could be something that you've wanted to train for. This could have been going on in September, could keep going on in October and November, but you want to have you want this sense of self-assuredness, like you know what you're doing. You want your training to be complete. This could also be a feeling you may have about your love partner or a child to you or somebody else connected to you, that you want their training to be complete before they embark on some new venture that they are going to go on. If you travel from home for business or even for pleasure, either way, you may feel homesick. Now, it may not last the whole time, but you may have bouts of feeling homesick. If you've moved from where you grew up to, or where you lived for a really long time, and you moved to somewhere new, where you moved to, while you first get there, you may be homesick for where you once lived. I feel like you're talking to new people, and like new arrangements are getting made here. So you may be making plans like, hey, we're all going to go to the movies on movie night, and then let's go to the diner afterwards or to a coffee shop and sit around and chat about the movie and what did we think of it. And like, it could be an event like that. Or you go to you get involved in a new club or group or organization or group of people, and you guys make plans to do events, like planning events, like let's have a bowling night, let's have a movie night, let's go to the Arboretum, let's go to see holiday decorations at this particular farm, whatever it is. Like, you may be making plans and arrangements with new people that you met through work or a new club, group, or organization, or possibly you met new if you moved somewhere new. Some of you could develop a crush on somebody that you meet new through one of these things I just mentioned, because having a crush, developing a crush on somebody also comes up here for some of you Virgos. So before I go on to cards number 4 and 5, I just want to let you know we had 2 eclipses in September, and these eclipses are affecting you for the next 3 months strongly, 6 months, and for some of you 9 months or up to a year. So if you want to see how these two, and the one eclipse was in your sign. So if you want to see how these 2 eclipses will be affecting you over that time period, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even up to 12 months, you may want to get the special video series I recorded for these 2 eclipses. The first one is the eclipse effects from the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, September 7th, 2025, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings for each sign of the zodiac. And I did the same format for the second eclipse, which was the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, September 21st, 2025, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card reading for each sign of the zodiac. These eclipses will be affecting you for a while, and like I said, I've said it in the other videos, I haven't said it here yet. Many people have told me over the years, I've been doing these videos a long time for these eclipses, that a lot of times people find they're like private readings to them. So you may want to check them out, and you may want to get your rising sign and your sun sign if you can do so. Also, my psychic crystal readings for October 2025, which are a continuation or an expansion of the psychic tarot readings that I do here on YouTube and Rumble. You may want to get these psychic crystal readings to see what else my guides have to say for you for October 2025. All the links for these videos, they're connected to Vimeo, are down below in the description box in the Show More section. And they're also available on Patreon. The same videos I've got them available on my Patreon, on the shop, my Patreon shop tab, and on Vimeo. You can get these links also on my website at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page, and the link for Patreon is down below and on that same videos page. Thank you for your purchases. You do keep this channel alive and going by your purchases of those videos. So I do truly appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. So card number 4 in your video here for October is the Five of Cups. And this is sadness, loss, and regret. But not all hope is lost, because there's still 2 cups that are not spilled. And so that means there is still hope. Sometimes having issues with drinking can come up with when the Five of Cups shows up. I feel like some of you are looking back on your past. It could be recent past, but it could be past that went stretched over a longer period of time. And you may be having some kind of regrets or feeling and wishing like you had said or done some things differently. Like you have this yearning, like, I wish I could go back and turn back time and change something that you did in the past. You may have made a decision where you feel like you had a lot of knowledge or a broad perspective about something, but now as time has passed, you may feel like, well, I didn't really know what I was getting into, or I didn't really know what I was talking about then, like I thought I did. So your perception of something you truly had hardcore beliefs and feelings about may be radically changed now. And now you have, like, you wish you could turn back time and not feel like you were so sure about what you were doing and so determined about what you thought was right or wrong. And now you may feel like, I didn't really understand fully or didn't know the full picture. You could have somebody that's harboring some kind of harsh judgment against you. You could feel like somebody isn't, like they've misunderstood you, or are like being critical of you. And that could make you feel sad. You could feel, I don't know about regret, unless it's over something you said or did that is causing this other person to be kind of critical of you. But it is a feeling of like somebody kind of being critical of you, and you may be feeling sad about it. You may feel like you should have been more proactive or informed before you have made certain choices in the past. Some of you may have gotten trained and educated by somebody that was misusing their power or didn't really give you the proper instruction. So you could even be having some kind of regret about somebody that you were taught by. And you may feel like, or it could have been a school system. It could have been a college, a high school, some kind of training program. It could have been a specific teacher that you feel like, I regret, or having sadness and regret because you don't feel like they prepared you properly. So you could be having that feeling. So the last card in your reading is for October 2025 is the Six of Swords, which is moving from troubled shores to better shores, moving from troubled times to better times. This could be long distance travel. It could be a new commute for work. It could even be literally moving your residence. I do feel that some of you are thinking to yourself, I'm going to get off my duff and get out of here. What are you getting out of? It could be a home you're living in, a town, a state, a city, a province. It could even be a job. You may feel like you want to take off. Like you don't want to keep doing the same old things that you always did, the same patterns, the same routines. I go back to what came up in this card. You may feel like, I want to elevate myself. I want to get moving. I want to get moving in some way. So it could be your physical body. If you feel like you need surgery or treatments or things you need to do to get you up and running and motivated and moving. It could be if you feel like there's a big life change you want to make, like a job or a career change or a relationship change or a living situation change, especially, you may feel like, I got to get up and get moving. I got to clean my stuff out, get rid of stuff I don't need, put that place up for sale, start looking for another place. Like that energy is here for Virgo also. You may feel like you need to steady your course in a new direction. You may feel like something in your life doesn't really feel steady. And it may feel important for you, maybe you want to move to like downsize. Maybe you feel like, what you're paying in rent or what you pay for a mortgage or the property is just too much to handle or is too big, or there are memories in a place that you just don't feel like you want to hold on to those memories anymore. It makes it difficult because it just brings up things that maybe make you feel unhappy or melancholy in some way. So you may feel like you need, like, out with the old, in with the new. Like you want to get moving in some form or another. If you are in a position where you feel like you're bound and gagged and you don't have free speech, you may feel like, I have got to get out of here. I want to be able to say what I think and feel and believe. Maybe you're in a relationship that's like that. That makes you feel bound and gagged. It could be a career. It could be where you're living, like state, city, province, country, where you feel like, I can't express myself the way I want to. I feel bound and gagged. I got to get moving. I got to get out of here. So freedom to say what you want to say and freedom to be who you want to be is very important right now. In this reading, it's coming up as important to Virgos. So the best gemstone crystal I got for Virgos to work with, use, and wear in the month of October 2025, you got Desert Sunset Jasper. This one does not come up very often. So Desert Sunset Jasper brings good fortune and helps stabilize personal energy. It's a very good grounding stone. It brings gentleness, relaxation, and contentment. It also helps bring compassion. It's a nurturing stone, and it helps enhance tranquility, comfort, and healing. This is going to help with your blood flow and getting your circulation and blood flow and things that travel through your system moving. It's going to be very good for your heart, builds and strengthens your heart. It's going to work with your inner knowing. So if you're carrying and wearing this stone in September, your intuition and just knowing what's what, like intuitively knowing, is going to be on fire if you carry Desert Sunset Jasper or wear it. If you are shy, it can help you overcome shyness. So if you have to give any speeches, teaching, lectures, toasts at a wedding, eulogies at a funeral, webinars, seminars, any public speaking, you may want to be carrying and wearing Desert Sunset Jasper in October if those events crop up for you. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And if you're interested in any of the special video series I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos and also on my Patreon shop tab. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked below this video in the description box and on my website, theluckymermaid.com, on the videos page. So I wish you all a very happy, healthy, and wonderfully blessed month of October. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.